Automated my useless boss out of her job. This happened a few years ago. I was a data and reporting analyst and did all the ad hoc reports for the company. My boss, we'll call her Carrie, was a useless. She was one of these people that was always late, left early and took days off at short notice. The only thing of value she did was all the regular reports, sales, revenue, etc. We suspected she got away with it because she was having an affair with her boss. We'll call him Stuart. Our CEO was a fairly decent bloke. He'd look for ways to cut costs and would pay regular bonuses for the best cost-saving initiatives. Carrie was very keen to submit ideas and encouraged us all to automate our tasks so she could try and take the credit for the savings. On one of her skive days, which coincidentally Stuart was sick, as well, the CEO was desperate for the sales report my boss does. I said I'd give it a look and see if I could get it done. Normally she'd spend 2 to 3 days doing it each week, but the CEO wanted it that afternoon. A quick inspection of the data showed it would quite easily be automated, so I knocked up the necessary script and got it over to the CEO, who was super impressed that not only had I got it done in a couple of hours but also that it could be updated whenever he needed it. He asked if I could also look at the revenue, churn and a couple of other reports. Over that afternoon I automated everything my boss did. Both Carrie and Stuart were back in the next day but were immediately summoned to the CEO's office before being suspended and sent home. Turns out the CEO knew they were having an affair, and all the times they were sick or late or had to leave early was so they could sneak off and have sex. He'd not done anything about it because how important these reports were. Now they were automated, he was able to get them suspended and later fired for gross misconduct for all the time they'd taken off. I also got a nice bonus out of it. TLDR. My useless boss encouraged us to automate our work, so I automated all her tasks and the CEO fired her for "Go away or I will replace you with a very small shell script." I've got good news and bad news, CEO. The good news is I've automated the sales report and revenue report using bots. The bad news is the sales report bot is now having an affair with the revenue report bot. I would love to see tutorials on this sort of thing. YouTube. A potential spicy section of Skillshare or whatever. I think people would pay for potential constructive revenge skills videos. We had a secretary at work. The nurses would nicely ask her to do things like make copies and send faxes while she was busy shopping online and gossiping with the housekeepers. She would snap that that wasn't her job. I asked her what was her job and advised that she was careful how often she said that. I think she got the drift. Things mildly improved for a bit. Best part was the CEO recognized your work and gave you a bonus. Saved him a buttload of money for 2 employees. 2 stories. No one lost their jobs on these, but I did some automation that cut costs and allowed people to focus on other tasks. In 1986-87 I was a bookkeeper at a nonprofit. Each quarter they had a report for the county that took 3 days to compile. The first 2 times we did it I realized a spreadsheet would help a lot. I had a Radio Shack TRS-80 and Microsoft Multiplan. I was able to cut the time down to 3 hours. In 1988-89 I was a programmer in an IT internship as a civilian with the Army. A team of supply clerks were working weekends locating records in a production database and moving them to an archive database. They were sick of working weekends and it cost a lot in wages. I was able to automate and they were thrilled to not work weekends anymore. I got a cash award for the tens of thousands my automation saved. Hilarious side story. Databases were Oracle running on Unisys MIDI computers. My first attempt used something called UFI, user-friendly interface, so you know it is not. In my ignorance, I wrote a UFI script that copied all the records to the archive DB and then deleted them from the production DB. I ran tests on a small subset of records and it worked great. My team lead looked my UFI script over and said, "Give it a go." You know what happened next. The copy failed but the delete worked great. Thank God the DBA liked me and was unperturbed about rolling the records back. To this day I don't know how that is done. Anyway, my team lead had me learn some C with embedded Oracle SQL commands to copy a record. Make sure it copied, and then delete from the production database if it copied successfully. And did you get a raise? Karma, thy name is Lungbong and I am here for it. That's just compliance. Fuck those two for abusing their position though. Go away. I've replaced you with a machine that can't do anything but count 0 and 1. It does your job perfectly. I've read several, I've automated my own job and do nothing all day now, posts. But this is next level. While the justice is tasty, what will the CEO do if someone brought him a script that automates your job too? I'm just kidding. Most CEOs are fairly decent blokes. Right? That's cool. I hope you're getting proper compensation for this new responsibility even if it takes little effort. Look at me, I am the indispensable employee now. There's a guy on our anti-work that automated his job with a script and he was waiting for his boss to find out. You guys should talk. Good for you. Don't ever tell your boss how you created or maintain the reports. That way, you're indispensable. Finally, you're now doing 2 jobs for the price of 1. You had to do everything she was doing plus porking your boss. Well done. Slow clap. Well done you. That is awesome.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.